Southside to uptown, the city is back, cause we are home. Yeah, we are home. And that's a DC rising. You could better stack one that I put my city on my back. Man, I swear these niggas lying if they say my city down. You could better stack one that I put my city on my back.
I'ma do it for my Wizards again. We going all the way this year.
What is good, Wiz Nation, Wizards fans? How's it going? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Camingo. And yes, season's over. Season is finally over. Not for the season, but the Wizards season is over. So we gotta do what we gotta do. So it's the last show of the year. We're doing our little season in review show. We got lots to talk about. We're gonna talk about the season overall. I'll talk about the players, all that. The players. Talk about the free agents. My top 10 wins of the season, and closing remarks to end season 5 of Wiz Nation. So, wow, 5 years. So, let's get it all started. Let's start from the beginning, the very beginning, because coming into the year, we as a team, not the media, but team ourselves, we had high expectations coming this year. We had a full season of Porzingis. We added Monte and Will Barton in the trade. We added DeLon Wright. So I said, we made surprising people, and then we kind of came out the first couple games. We said we got a squad until one of our key players, DeLon Wright, went down with a hamstring injury. He missed like two months. It was like 3 months, something like that, and that really kind of killed our momentum. We were struggling, and then one of our unsung heroes was Jordan Goodwin. He came in, and he said, "You know what? We found something in this guy." We had like a 4 or 5 game winning streak. Once he started to get some playing time, and then once after that, the struggles continue. We endure early November going to almost Christmas, a 10-game losing streak. It was close most of the time, but it was painful. Our season was at a crossroads at that time, and it finally ended. We finally gelled together after Christmas. We went on another winning streak, so we were back in it, and then the struggles continued again, coming in early January. And then mid-January, the Rui trade happened. We kind of knew. I knew to myself it was coming. Cause I did say in the previous show that one of our forwards is gonna get traded, and it had to be Rui. Sadly, had to be him because he did want out. By the way, he wanted to leave. So it is what it is. Made a trade to get Kendrick Nunn, and then first 3 games, Nunn he scored like 12 points, like 3 or 4 games in a row. And all those games we played early on, we did win. And once we were out, we had a season high 6-game winning streak, and then at that 6 winning streak, which you know what happened, the 2 big blown leads we had to Portland and Brooklyn back-to-back nights, and that kind of that's one of our you say we're gonna look back at that, you know what I mean, and then we kind of got back together again before All-Star break. We had something before All-Star break and going at All-Star break. So I'm like, okay, and then we have one of the easy schedules down the stretch for the second part of the season, and we didn't do that for the second year in a row. Every time we go into March, feel like we're in playing tournament contention, we always fall off a cliff in the month of March. The month of March, that's always been our Achilles heel the last 2 seasons. But 2 years ago, but it was in April. That's me turning around. But March it's been bad, man. So, and that led to us winning 35 games for the second year in a row. 2 straight 35-win season. So to me, it was a failure season. To me, in my opinion, I think the Amy Washington said it was a failure as well. So next season, they gotta get together, or else we're definitely gonna be on rebuild mode. So it is what it is with his fans. It is what it is. Now, I want to talk about the players and the coach as well. I'll talk about that as well. Let's get to a review on when some not all the players, but some of the players. Let's start with the Panda Bradley Beal, and for the last time this season, I'm gonna say it again. Bradley Beal does what? Bradley Beal things. Well, during the summer, I remember fans, they were upset. He did sign that little 5-year, $251 million contract, and it felt like he was gonna live up to it, but he didn't. He played only 50 games out of 82 this season. He played 40 something last year, so he played 90 semi games out of, I don't know, I can't do the math here, right? So you do the math here, but so next year this is it for him, man. Because if we don't turn next season, and I know Brad is not happy with the way last year's is gone, but if we don't do it right now, next year, this could be the end for him. And he is close to being the all-time leading scorer. He was this close. And he's like 100 some points away from getting the all-time leading scorer in Wizards history, not NBA, Wizards history. So, Bradley Beal, please get healthy, man. Get healthy. It was sore. He could have played, but coach said, you know what? Sit down. Now I'm gonna go to one of my favorites, Mr. Clutch Kuz. Yeah, Kyle Kuzma, my guy. What a year for him. Career year, averaged like 21 points a game, 7 rebounds a game. And to me, in my opinion, he's an all-star in my opinion to this team. He is an all-star in my opinion. I don't give a damn what people say about him, Wizards fan, whatever. He to me is an all-star. Just hopefully he stays. He's a free agent this coming summer, because it'll be a damn shame to lose Kyle Kuzma after he's done the last 2 years, after we get rid of Rui Hachimura. Because once we got rid of Rui, it's assuming that Kuzma is gonna stay with it, but you never know. We'll have to wait and see. Now let's get into Mr. the Unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis. To me, he is the MVP of our team this season. Like, people doubted this man, doubted him, injury history and all that. He played 65 games. I said if he played at least close to 70 games on that this season, then I could have held the season. But impressive Porzingis, very impressive. Because if we were winning in the beginning, he would consider an all-star. If a common player was existed, he would have been a nominee, because people just trashed him. He said he's done, he's over the hill, and still to this day, thank you Dallas, and also thank you New York for dumping as well, because you really gave up on them because you wanted to win the lottery, but you didn't do it. But but you made it for it. So Porzingis, hopefully you stay as well, because you're a free agent. But I think he's gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? But now let's get into DeLon Wright. Let's talk about him. DeLon Wright, to me, is who was an underrated pickup to this team. That first game, when I saw, I said, this guy defense is real. I said, we got something in him, but the injury to his hamstring happened. Can you imagine if DeLon played? Let's say he played like 73 games, not that. We would have won more than 35 games. We probably would have been in the freaking playing tournament right now. But it is what it is. But I want to talk about his replacement, Jordan Goodwin. He was the unsung hero of the Wizards this season. When I first saw him, I'm like, who is this kid? And he came in. We were down 20-some points to Memphis that one game, and he gave us a spark to come out. I'm like, we found a gem in him, and it continued to go. And when Lawler was healing, it continued. Yeah, there was 2 games in a row where during Illusory he had like 5-6 steals in 2 games in a row. So hopefully he cracks the rotation on the Wizards next season. I can't see him being a third string guard or shooting guard or something on his team. Hopefully the Tom Shepard just finds a way to get minutes for him, just like he did with Danny. Speaking of Danny, let's talk about Danny, because Mr. Turbo Danny Avdija. Oh yeah, because I came a fan. Now he really came a fan. I became a fan of Danny just now because after what he did during that winning streak when Rudy got traded, he got Wiz fans excited. I said, this is the Danny that we've been waiting to see. I've been waiting for this since his rookie season. But Wiz got signed on him because next summer he's a free agent next summer, so they got to sign on him. So next up, let's go to my guy, Go Gaffer, Daniel Gaffer, the landlord. Just keep getting better, Gaffer, because remember, because I did say this, you're bad at starting, but since you started with Porzingis, because we were waiting for that to start with Porzingis, and he really lived up. Even some game where he's not in foul trouble and he's still engaged, we're a dangerous team. But I want to see Gaffer this offseason work on your like mid-range jump shot. If you could develop a 10-15 foot jump shot, then we got something. We got something. You know what I'm saying? So next up, Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert, the shooter, Mr. Crispy, getting crispy. Cause that month of March, cause you always ball out in March. I don't know what's in you, cause for the first 5-6 months, always like he has some moments, but in March, exploded. There was a game I saw we played Orlando. He made 9 threes. All his shots were 3-point shots. I'm like, this kid is a lethal shooter, and I keep saying he's becoming a lethal shooter right before your eyes. So, team, a very weird Sky Report now because he is going to be a great shooter. I'm saying he's probably the best shooter I've seen since we had not Bertan, probably Bogan Bogdanovic when we had him for a short while. So just keep getting better, Corey Kispert. Let's see, who should I move on to next? Let's go to my man Johnny Davis, the rookie Johnny Davis. Let's go to him. Because beginning of the year, I said in Summer League, watching Summer League, I said, what is wrong with this kid? Because he's not the Johnny that I saw in college in Wisconsin. Because beginning when he played, he's all shook and nervous, and he was hurt, so they had to send him out in the G League. And some G League games, he did show he can score 27 points, 25 points, 28, something like that. And then once he got in the rotation in mid-March, he did show some signs going on the year. So I said, hopefully the next year he takes that big leap going to next year. Because we did see in college, he had a down freshman year, then sophomore year, points went up and numbers went up. Hopefully we see that for him next year. And bold prediction, y'all. I think in 2-3 years, John Davis is gonna take Bradley Beal's spot in 2-3 years. So if he keeps getting better, he can be the starting shooting guard for this team that we've been waiting to see. I remember what I want to say. I remember the draft night. He said, "We found our Beal replacement for this year." I'm like, well, not yet. 2-3 years, he will be the starting shooting guard for the Washington Wizards in the future. So who should I get to next? You know what? That's it. I want to talk about Monte Morris, but I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Now I'm gonna get into the coach. I know Tommy said we're keeping Wes Unseld Jr. for another year, and to me, I wasn't surprised. Not surprised one bit, because not everyone in the league gets a third chance, but he's getting it. this is similar to when we had Brandon Whitman years back. Remember, people want him fired after two bad years when John was young and Bill was a rookie. He said fire Whitman, and then the third year it was playoffs or bust. We made the playoffs and we won a series. So you never know. Just give. But here's my warning to Western Show. If we get off to another poor start or decent start or inner star, he's gonna be fired in the middle of the year. Let's get that straight right now. If we don't get off to a great start, because the great start when we had the 10th start that we had in the not 2 season, but the previous season, then that's gonna be it for him. So Tommy, I trust you, man. I really, really trust you, but you gotta make it work. So this offseason is huge for you. You gotta do something. So now let's move on. Let's move on to, since the season's over, let's look into our free agents going into the offseason. We already know Kuz and Porzingis is one. Let's look at the others. Let's see here. Free agents. It's Porzingis, Kendrick Nunn, Kuzma, Gibson, Quinn Jackson, Jay Huff. Hopefully they can keep Quinn and Huff. Hopefully they keep this guy, because I really like Jay Huff. I think Jay Huff, we found our third center. We really found it because Gibson, he's likely, to me, in my opinion, he has some moments and all, but I think it's time for him to retire from basketball. But I did question saying, why? Because it was for veteran issue, but I didn't think he was gonna play. But he's probably gonna retire. Hopefully, we keep Jay Huff, get him a new contract and all that, and be our third center in case Porzingis or Gafford is hurt. We can use, because he's impressive. You know what I'm saying? And Nunn, I like you, but he's got to go. I think Quinn Jackson is gonna be the third string guard on our team next season. But big thing is Kuz and Porzingis. You're gonna keep Porzingis. I ain't worried about Porzingis because he's gonna stay. But Kuzma, we're gonna wait and see. Try and wait and see. So, all right. When we get back, we're gonna talk about my top 10 wins of this season. Stay tuned.
James creating offensive rebound. Corey Kispert comes up with it. Kispert trying to throw it. How did he do it?
If you throw it up to him, throw it up high. And if it gets too high, he has to turn on the boosters. And right there, catching it way.
We're back, y'all. We are back. It is time. One of my favorite segments in these last show of the year parts. I love revealing my top 10 wins of the season. So let's get it started. Let's start off with number 10, shall we? The Wizards finally winning at San Antonio. I'm gonna tell you why. Even though the Spurs is a bad team, but we have to end that streak, because we have not won there since 1999. It's been 24 years, something like that. But if this was the year, it was this one. They had to do it. And we did start off real slow that game, but I said we stayed calm, and then we booed them out. And that's when Denny did start the turbo dance, you know what I'm saying? But it was great that we finally got that monkey off our back in San Antonio. It's about damn time. And I believe the first time I saw the Spurs play back in March. It was the first time we swept the Spurs in a season for the first time since 1997. That was when Tim Duncan was still in college. Can't believe that. So let's go number 9. Number 9, the Wizards blowing out the Kings. Now I'm gonna tell you why. That was one of the most pressing wins that I've seen this year. It was our last game before we held at home. It was before Christmas. Last game on the road trip after we recently ended a 10-game losing streak, and the Kings were one of the surprise teams in the league. And by the way, Kings fans, left y'all in the playoffs. But in that building, that one night, you didn't like the beam, because that we really blew them out. We were up by 30 points in that game. that was the first time during that season, the first time in that game that we were having fun. Like that they were, it was like laughing and joking. You know what I'm saying? Having fun, and that's what it's all about. So, moving on, let's go to number 8, shall we? The Wizards winning in Atlanta. Now that was a big game right there, big win, because we had 2 straight losses coming after the All-Star break, and we played Atlanta, whose first game for Quinn Snyder as head coach. It was a big game because Neil Atlanta was playing for a playing turn spot. It was like us, and then we were down 8 points in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go, and then Bill decided to say, you know what? Give me the ball. Give him the ball, and I'm gonna take us home. And boy, did he did. He made like two big shots for us in that fourth quarter, put up 4 and then 3 points. And Trae Young almost made my heart drop because he had 2 good looks to tie the game. That first one I knew was off, but that second one, oh my God, I seen him go down many times. If that wall went through, I'm like, wow. But thank God he missed. I think it was our first win in Atlanta in 5 years, 4 or 5 years, something like that. So let's move on. Moving on, number 7. The Wizards win in Phoenix. I'm gonna tell you why. Because that 10 losing streak was doubtful. It was embarrassing. It was our first 10 losing streak in since Brad Beal's rookie season. Because I said we really need to win. There was no Booker in that game, and to me, I kind of missed that game because I was under weather during that time. When I saw a rerun and they won, I'm like, thank you. And that was the game. I think we were down 10 late in the fourth quarter, in the 7 minutes ago, and then Bill once again, give me the ball. I'm gonna take us home, and he sure did. Sure damn did. Number 6? Yeah, number 6. Yeah, number 6, shall we? The debut in our pink uniforms against the Mavs. Now, I'm going to tell you why it's number 6. Because that game, we had no KP in the game. He was playing for former team. So we were wearing pink unis. And beginning the game, it was Dallas. It was boom, 3-pointer. Boom, 3-pointer. Boom, 3-pointer. I think they were up 12, 13 points at one point. And in that fourth quarter, Kyle Kuzma came through. Kyle Kuzma, Clutch Kuz, activated. Came through. And I guess he loves wearing pink because he did love wearing pink before. When we wear pink, he usually has a great game. So it was great to see those pink uniforms. But hopefully they bring them back. Because those unis are real cool. You know what I'm saying? Very, very cool. Hopefully they bring them back next year. Hopefully they tweak it a little bit next year. You know what I mean? So let's go to number 5. Number 5. The comeback against Minnesota. Now this was before the All-Star break right here. Before All-Star break, because we said, you know what? Going to I said, let's get this done before break and get our rest. But beginning game, down 20, I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, that was a true testament to our thing. We could easily say, you know what, forget this game, let's get our rest, go to Cancun, wherever, for All-Star break. But we didn't allow that. Bradley Beal, once again, said, give me the damn ball. Give me the ball. Take us home. He did again. This is why Bradley Beal is important to our team. Because every time we need a bucket, you go to him. And Kuz, he had a bad shooting game until he made that big 3. Put up 1. He did a little going back to I love it. And then Bill, dagger and 3. And that was like, we got this. And everybody, now it's our momentum going to All-Star break. But then we lost it after the break. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4. The comeback win against Miami Heat. Now, this was a big win because that night we honored the big 3 because it was a 25-year anniversary of celebrating the Wizards as a team, not the Bulls, but the Wizards. Because we came to Wizards in 1998. We honored the big 3 and Gilbert Arenas, Caron Butler, Anthony Jamison in that time. But during the game, he had like eight guys available. They had no Jimmy and Bam, whatever. And they came out with, I'm like, who are these guys? And they were up 18 1 point. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But late third quarter, guess who gave us the spark? Out of nowhere, freaking Taj Gibson. It's probably his best game as a Wizard there in that game. He really gave us a spark. And we were down 5 minutes to go. We made 2 big buckets, including that clutch 3 by Kyle Kuzma in the corner. The game, they went overtime. And then we scored. We had one. It was the most boring overtime I ever seen in my life. Because it was one field goal in that game, and he had none. And we did win by a point, I believe. Something by 2 or 3. So I wish I was there for that game. I really wish I was there, but it is what it is. Let's go to number 3. Number 3. Opening night against the Bulls. And that was the first game in the throwback uniform. And I gotta be honest, it felt like watching the Wizards versus Bulls in the playoffs when I was young. That's what it felt like. I'm like, oh my freaking good. I was having flashbacks. And during that game, I think we had a big lead. We're up 15, 16 points. It was like we're gonna blow them out. But Bulls, they came right back. I thought we were going to overtime. But Bradley Beal came through. I said, please pass the ball. But he said, no, I'm going to take us home. And he did. Had a clutch shot too. And I told Wiz fans, don't celebrate. Don't celebrate because we've seen the movie before. Remember last year, DeRozan hit that shot to win the game. And he almost did it again. I'm like, please, no, please miss. Please miss. And he did. I'm like, yes. I'm like, whoo. Crazy. That was a crazy game right there. Number 2, Kuzma's game winner against the Bulls. Now, oh my God. We had no Bill, no KP, no Gafford. We were down 3 starters. I think the Bulls had no DeMar DeRozan in that game. And then they were up 16 points second quarter. But the third quarter, guess who sparked this? It was Monte Morris in that game. He had one of the best third quarters he had during the season. And Gil had a good game. Then Alden had his first 20 rebound game. But in the late fourth quarter, Kuzma's game winner over Alex Caruso, his old teammate who won the ring with the Lakers in the bubble. I thought it was off, but I said, when in doubt, Clutch Kuz comes through. Always. Clutch Kuz activated. Now let's go to number 1. Number 1. The Wizards winning in Dallas. Now that game was fun. That probably was one of the funnest games I watched all year. That game was fun. We had no KP in the game. It was supposed to be KP's epic return to Dallas since being traded. And it was Nunn's first game as a Wizard, but he didn't play in that game. But there's a game where Kuzma, he was quiet in the first half, but then got hot in the second half. But the fourth quarter, it was back and forth. We go. And we almost cost the game. And Bill kind of caused a turnover. And Luka luckily missed 1 free throw. He made 1 out of 2. And then Kuzma made 1 out of 2 free throws. I was like, oh no. And then last seconds, who came in the clutch? The defense. DeLon Wright, the steal, now Luka. He said, give me that. And I said, ball game. That was fun. Very, very fun. So, Wizards fan, what do you think? What do you think is the best win all year for the Wizards? Just let me know what you think. So, when we get back, closing remarks to end season 5 of Wiz Nation. Stay tuned.
5 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. 2 former Lakers going one-on-one. Here's Kuzma off the screen. Kuzma fade away. Oh, he hit it! Kyle Kuzma with 5.7 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Hits a huge 3 to put the Wizards up 100-97. Clutch Kuz activated.
As time winds down, the basket gets bigger and bigger for Kuzma.
He is so comfortable in these moments.
And he knew it. See him, he's looking at the clock right now, dribbles right, and just pulls. over the outstretched hand of Alex Caruso.
Look at the reaction of his teammates.
And we are back for the final time this season. So, well, 5 years. 5 years of the show. It's over, man. Like, wow. Can't believe I started this summer of 2018. I do want to shout out to my guy, Travis Thomas. 5 years ago, like yesterday, I was on Amy's Washington Wizards. It was the Wizards Outsiders with you, Christy Winter, Scott. So that really said, you know what? When I was on there interviewing me, that said, you know what? I want to do something like this and make my own. And look at me now, 5 years later, still doing this. So, Travis Thomas, shout out to you. I know you do your thing down there in Boston. We miss you down there in DC. We love to see you on T980 for past several years. So, keep doing your thing, Travis Thomas. Just keep doing your thing because you really just like inspire me, man. So, thank you, man. Thank you. And I do want to shout out to some of the fans that I think could see Wizards games this season. I've been to 9 games this year. I saw the Bulls, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, the Knicks, the Pacers, the Kings, the Spurs, the Magic, and the Heat on Fran Pitcher Night this past Friday. I do want to shout out to some fans here. First shout out, I do want to shout out to my girl Amanda, who's been a big fan of this show since season 3. Then hopefully you can finish watching the first 2 years. But we've been to 4 Wizards games together. I still remember when I said, if we win, I need to get the dub and be on my show. But and some fans watching, you'll see it. I think it's the Cute and DC Family Get Together show where it was like before All-Star break. You gotta check it out. When I did my little dub, so you gotta check it. So shout out to you, Amanda. But we will see Misses together during the summertime. And I do want to shout out to 2 people quick. To 2 friends, Kat and Steven. And Kat, I want to thank you. Thank you for inviting me to one of the Wizards games that we won together. And let's do some more next season. And when we win, you gotta get in my dub. You gotta get in. And same to you, Steven. Steven is my guy. That is my guy. Me, if you know my man Steven Powers, me and him, we are like, when it comes to being a fan and passionate, you gotta follow him on Twitter. So Steven, shout out to you, Steven. And like I said, Kat, when we go to the game together, invite me. When we win, you gotta get there. I want you to make it onto the show. So, and shout out to another 2 guys. Shout out to my boy Jeff and Nick. And Nick, keep doing it in college, man. They're doing big things at Virginia Tech. So, and Jeff, I know we've been going at this since the fantasy basketball. But even though I retired, but I gotta get you on a FanDuel. I gotta get you on that because I've been doing it since after I retired fantasy basketball. And shout out to my good friend Becca and her dad. Got to see her dad first time in what 4 years since we went to that Jack party back in 2019. And shout out to Becca. And I miss you and the girls from the Triple Dub podcast. I know y'all aren't doing this year, but y'all gotta get back to podcasting because I love watching you podcast. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Becca because you're one of the real Wiz fans out there. And shout out to my boy Sean Move. I saw him a couple times in Wizards game. He's one of the realest Wiz fan. Got to meet his wife Trish. So shout out to you, Trish. And shout out to my good friend Carolyn who gave me the ticket to see the Heat play last Friday. So hopefully, Carolyn, we see each other again. Hopefully, miss the season and next season. And then shout out to my boy Sean Sullivan. He follows me on Twitter. Got the ransom during the Pacers game. He's a fan of this show. So and shout out to the homie Wole, my guy from the urban sports scene. I love this podcast. That is my guy. I've been following this podcast since the pandemic. So we finally got the answer after all this time. But hopefully let's do it again next season, bro. Just keep supporting my show like I'm supporting your podcast. So shout out to you, homie. And then, man, there's so many y'all, man. So many. And shout out to 2 podcasts. Locked On Wizards, my guy Brandon Sky and Ed Oliver. Been watching y'all on YouTube and all that. So, and shout out to my boy Matt Moderno. Hope I got his last name right, because I'm not good at pronouncing names. From the Believe in Wizards podcast. His new co-host and former Wizard Jahadi White. Missed the boy Larry Hughes, though. He wasn't on the Believe in Wizards podcast. But I'm going to keep listening to all Wizards podcast. All Wizards podcast. Keep on listening. Keep listening. So, shout out to all fans, man. I know I call some Wizards fans fade because they always said, let's lose on purpose and get a good draft pick. But to me, I follow everyone who are passionate, loyal, respectful, all that. So, and thank you to the fans, man, who've been following me on this channel since the beginning. You can be a beginning fan, a fan right now, fan second season, third, fourth, and fifth. So, man, 5 years of this show, man. I can't believe it. And we're gonna keep going and beyond. There's gonna be many more seasons to come, many new ideas. Hopefully, I will find a way to get guests on this show. And before we go, I will recap the 5 years. The first year, I said, even though it was a bad year, it's only beginning. Second year, even though it was a bad year, COVID did happen. No, it did ruin things. Season 3 was fun with Russell Westbrook. That was a fun year. Season 4 and probably this season, it was up and down. Even though last year beginning I was having fun because I said we finally got a good team, but it went downhill since. Same a little bit this year. We had some ups and downs, and so we're gonna keep doing it. Wherever this team is good or bad or mediocre, it doesn't matter. I'ma still keep talking Wizards because that is my team for the last 22 seasons, and can't believe the next season will be my 23rd year as a fan. Man, I'm getting old. So that's it, y'all. That's the end of the season. Next time we're gonna link up is the draft lottery, which is on the May 16th. That middle Tuesday in May. We'll get back at it. So hopefully we get some late luck on our side. Because in the past 3 or 4 years, we've been getting 9 and 10 pick each and every year. So hopefully we'll lately be on our side. Stay tuned for that. That lottery is remember, May 16th. Remember that. So that is it, y'all. Season 5 of Wiz Nation's over. Thank y'all for tuning in this season. Y'all know the deal. Follow me on Twitter @Camingo. Same on Instagram. My Wiz page is @Wiz_Nation. Instagram Nation_Wiz. Thank y'all. Have a great off season and enjoy the postseason.